I made a broadcast in English.
Once again, the criminal
and in 9 charges leveled against me.
Welcome back, my people. Another one don't happen. No, Udele Abina Ijele, waiting they call him, don't drop bombshells concerning Nnamdi Kanu's upcoming case in November 4th, 5th, and 6th, 2025. As the much anticipated court hearing of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu approaches, scheduled for November 4th, 5th, and 6th, 2025, the atmosphere across the Zoo Nation and beyond is heating up once again. Discussions surrounding the detained leader of IPOB has become increasingly intense, drawing reactions from both his supporters and critics. In recent days, social media platforms and offline conversations have been filled with heated debates, emotional appeals, and conflicting opinions. Supporters of Kanu continue to demand justice and his unconditional release, maintaining that his trial is politically motivated. On the other hand, critics argue that Kanu must face the law, accusing him of actions that threaten national unity and security. One of the most vocal critics making waves online is Udele, a controversial social commentator and self-acclaimed political analyst known for his sharp and often divisive views. Udele has built a reputation for his consistent criticism of Nnamdi Kanu and the IPOB movement, often framing his commentary around the idea that Kanu's agitation has caused more harm than good to the southeastern region. In this update, we will take a closer look at Udele's controversial statements, examine the response from activists and the public, and explore what the November court section could mean for Nnamdi Kanu's future and the broader struggle for justice and self-determination.
Once again, the criminal Nnamdi Kanu has brought another style or pattern. This time around, all the witnesses listed, barring a few of our leaders, we almost named all the former leaders. I don't know who was missing from the list. Right now, he doesn't want to come call a witness anymore. Right now, he doesn't want to call any more witnesses. That means he's waiving his right to defense. For those of you who don't know, when you do such, the judge has every right. The court can decide to buy you, say, firing squad or hanging or whatever. That means you leave yourself at the mercy of the court. And the only reason you will do this in the court of law is if you know you are overwhelmingly guilty. So he is now trying to force the hand of the government. If this is like he's daring the government to go ahead. Guess what? They've given him 4th to 6th of November. So if he continues this way, but I am predicting, knowing how the criminal Nnamdi Kanu reasons and how he thinks, I'm predicting he would not tell you he has brought a new legal team, that the team will not take time to study the case. Then they will start shouting again, oh, the government does not want to conclude the case. Oh, they've been holding him. Just listen to what Ned Moko was saying. It's just the same thing. This is just like a plan. This when you look at the whole issue, is for him to be delaying, and these people will be on air shouting, oh, the government is delaying the case, without telling you who is actually delaying the case, in which case is Nnamdi Kanu. Once again, he has decided not to call witnesses anymore. So Umubingo, hear it and hear it clearly. Once he waives his right to defense, he will be found guilty. So it's the prosecution that will decide what they will give him. And those of them that are going to meet me with Mr. President, we are still urging Mr. President to please, eyes on the ground. There is no political gain in subverting the course of justice. Now, if you subvert the course of justice by releasing him, the same people will use it against you in the north to tell the northerners, you see, the president you voted for couldn't even protect you from the person buying you. You don't need the Southeast vote for anything. President Buhari has proven that Southeast twice, you can still win an election without them. As for this nonsense that are telling you about coalition, all those coalitions will never work. The South is not even as strong as it used to be against Mr. President's party. Now, like in the past, all these stories about this will happen, that will happen, it's a lie. They want to use only their church vote and their fake marginalization cry. Finish. This is what they are playing on, and so long they remove all the polling units from churches, all the polling units located inside church compounds, all the polling units located within properties owned by the churches, I mean schools or whatever, any place fenced that is owned by the churches, do not put any polling units there. They don't do it for Muslims, they don't do it for the traditionalists. We, the traditionalists, we are demanding polling units in every shrine. That those holy votes they are bragging about in 2023, we also have our traditional holy vote. We will also turn out our vote. Let's see where they are going to come from. There is no gain in this, Mr. President. Nnamdi Kanu must face his warrant. Whatever they give him, he should go there, carry it. Me, if I commit anything, may they knock me my own, I go there, face my warrant. Everybody with Nketu. Every malam to Nketu. Very simple. Thank you, man.
While Udele's remark continued to draw criticism, other activists and human rights advocates have taken a different stance. Many argue that Kanu's detention and the alleged violation of his rights raise serious concern about the state of democracy and justice in the Zoo nation. Some legal observers have also pointed out inconsistencies in how the Zoo government has handled the case, emphasizing that due process and human rights must be upheld regardless of political differences. As the court date draws nearer, analysts predict that the trial will once again capture international attention, with human rights organizations, political observers, and ordinary citizens closely monitoring every development. For millions of the citizens, especially those in the Southeast, the outcome of this case represents more than just a legal verdict. It symbolizes a test of the Zoo nation's justice system and a reflection of how dissenting voices are treated in the country.
I think Mr. Kanu knows something the rest of us don't know. Actually, I thought Nnamdi Kanu is a lawyer. I mean, until I found out that was not correct, that is not a lawyer. So, I mean, I was looking forward to an explosive trial, considering the witness list that he submitted, or his counsel submitted before he fired them. And I don't know what he hoped to gain. But if you look at the ruling yesterday, the justice, or the judge, Justice Omotosho, I think, was kind enough in explaining things to him and the implication of his no case submission. Remember again, in this trial, in the course of the trial, that no case actually, I think it has actually gone to Supreme Court, where the Supreme Court ruled that, look, you got the case to answer, then reassign the case to another judge and start the trial afresh. I don't know. Maybe Mr. Kanu knows something the rest of us don't know. But I would have loved him to allow his lawyers to represent him. And then that list of the so-called witnesses he wanted to call, I would have loved to see how they would have helped his case. But with this one, I don't know.
You know, it also raises some questions about whether this is a political case or a judicial case.
Who determines that? There's a proper case in court. And by the way, that does not mean I'm against if there will be a political resolution of Nnamdi Kanu. I don't have a problem with that. Those of our people, elected officials who are the ones that play the politics, they might have things that they might see things that the rest of us don't see. So without any prejudice to that, if they want to reach a political solution, after all, in this same country, we are seeing elected officials negotiating with bandits. We have seen elected officials negotiating with terrorists. So Nigeria, anything goes at a certain level. But be that as it may, there is a proper case in court. You have been in the dock, for goodness sake. You are being told that this is what will happen to you if this go ahead. The judge was patient and lenient yesterday in explaining. And at certain level, perhaps the court actually rule against its own order, that you must close your defense on so day, just that he will go home and think again. Again, I think Mr. Kanu knows something the rest of us don't know.
But then there is also this
because who are the people pursuing the political settlement for him?
There is also this issue a number of people have been looking at concerning this case, and that's the question of what the core issue really is. The agitation had always been that of marginalization over the years, even before Nnamdi Kanu came, by the states.
At a certain level, all of us are marginalized.
Well, that is the position of some people as far as the Southeast is concerned.
Yeah.
Now there is also, don't also forget that it's not only the Southeast has had this feeling. That was what sort of the demise of the man that was killed under the Abacha regime. Even somewhere, Kensarua, even under some people in the north central part of Nigeria, some of them have also claimed being marginalized. Isn't that a core issue that we need to really focus on? The fact that some elements in Nigeria...
I align with that sentiment. And that's why I'm saying that at certain level, all of us are marginalized. Those of us who are not from Lagos in that sense, but who work and earn a living and pay taxes in Lagos, at certain level, I'm marginalized too. My children now, they have got to go to my home state of Osun to go and get whatever they want to get. They are not allowed to get things in Lagos at certain level. So all of us can cry marginalization. And that's a result of the defective structure that we have. I thought you were going to link your argument with the Niger Delta militants who use militancy to get the state to sort them out. You know, that was what gave rise to the amnesty program, which was marshaled then by Vice President Goodluck Jonathan, who later became the president, as mandated by the late President Yar'Adua. So I thought that was what you were going to. If that was what Mr. Kanu thought he would get, I'm not even sure that he got enough sympathy among his kith and kin like that.
But one of the questions...
And there is a major difference. Hold on, please. Yes. There's a major difference between him and the Niger Delta militants. Niger Delta militants were not blowing up their own people. They were only blowing up oil installation and oil pipe and
even that, a number of people question why.
I'm just saying that too.
Even that a number of people question that as well, because there's always been some kind of the 13% derivation, for instance, that goes to the Niger Delta state.
Yes.
The people do not feel it. So then, there's some people are asking questions whether or not that's a problem of government. But there is a question around whether or not there is significant.
So, my people, as Nnamdi Kanu's court date draws near, the tension continues to rise, and the question still remains: do you believe Udele's criticisms are fair observation or a deliberate attempt to discredit Nnamdi Kanu? Should Kanu continue refusing to defend himself in court, or should he reconsider and fight his case legally? What does this trial say about the Zoo Nation justice system? Is it impartial or politically motivated? And finally, do you think the outcome of this case could change the course of political agitation and human rights in the nation? Drop your thoughts in the comment section. Let's hear what you think. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to 24/7 News Boss for more in-depth updates. Until next time, stay safe, stay informed.